We're having a live Q&A right now, and a few topics were sent through to me, which was great because, again, like, there's just so much to speak about in our Afro-Latin community, which at the end of the day, you know, having open communication and chatting about things can really help to diversify and strengthen and make for a better community all around. But there's just so much to unpack so much of the time, and I think that one of the things that we can do as dancers, as community members, is to open communication about these things and really get down to it and try to figure out solutions before these things become issues. Without further ado, let's get down to the first topic: teaching people on the dance floor. Ooh-wee! This is one of the most contentious topics. I'm going to have a little sip of my coffee for that one. One of the most contentious topics in the Afro-Latin world, teaching on the dance floor. I was actually watching a video last night. Funny enough, a video was shared amongst my team. You know, we have a team of 8 of us at Paradiso Academy, all teachers and teachers, assistant teachers, and we often chat and share stuff. And a video was shared yesterday from the Berlin Salsa Congress last year. And in the video, we saw some of our dancers there, Capetonians, on the floor, killing it. It was an amazing song. The song had these fantastic breaks. And it was amazing to see the whole dance floor like break and hit the music in such an amazing way. So aesthetic. And I was just like, wow, 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 wow. I was absolutely blown away. But then I looked down in the far left of the screen, and I see this elderly gentleman, 4,500 dancers from around the world. Amazing event. Franco, my good friend Franco Sparfeld, is the organizer for the Berlin Salsa Congress. He organizes this event. It's the longest running event, congress, an ongoing festival in Europe. And 4,500 dancers. I mean, you look down from the rafters down at this dance floor of like over 3,000 dancers dancing salsa to some of the most amazing music. DJ Tully, DJ Julian the Duke, Julian Summers, you name the DJs. And anyway, so I look down at the screen, in the corner of the screen, and I see this elderly gentleman in white hair. And he's actually instructing this poor young lady on the dance floor. Everybody else is dancing, enjoying the music, enjoying the breaks. And there's this dude, like, I can see him explaining to her that when his hand goes over her head, she's supposed to do some kind of styling. And I mean, he's not really doing it in a very feminine way, like the styling, but he's kind of like what that's like to be getting an instruction on the dance floor when you're supposed to be social dancing. And here's this more experienced, or I mean, this person might have a few weeks, a few months, a few years. You have no idea. You're new on the scene, and here's this older person giving you instruction on the social dance floor of what you should be doing when they do a certain move. Wow. I can tell you that even as amazing as all of the other stuff on the dance floor was, and I actually watched the video a few times, and I just rewound every time I went back to these breaks, and I would watch this couple and watch this couple and watch this couple hitting these breaks. But then when I found this thing happening on the dance floor, and I went back a few times on this, and then eventually I just couldn't watch it anymore. It was like watching a train smash. You're curious in the beginning, but then you just know it's going to end badly. And well, I mean, obviously it was just a short video clip, and it didn't go much further than that. But what is something that you would tell somebody? Let's say that it was you in that situation, and the lead or the follower that you were dancing with decided to try some move with you, and it didn't work. Or you're the lead and the follow is giving you instruction on the dance floor when you know what you're doing is actually, you know, pretty good because you tried it before on some other follows and it's worked, and here this follow is giving you instruction for how it's supposed to be. I'd love to get your feedback on that, leads, and from the follows I'd love to get your feedback. What is it like for you, and what have you experienced, and what have you said when a lead has tried something on you, tried a move with you that, you know, perhaps you've experienced it before, perhaps not, whatever, doesn't really matter. I think most importantly, what is your reaction to this lead giving you feedback on the social dance floor? I'd love to hear from you. So please comment in the comment section and let me know how that was for you. I can tell you like a funny story for myself also. I was actually having a social dance in Stockholm, Sweden, back in 2000, and I think it was 2007 or 2008, somewhere around there. And I mean, I'm a musician first. I was a musician before I became a DJ. And then when I joined the salsa scene, I actually joined as a DJ first and then got into the dancing side of things. So I was pretty good at the music already, but I was having a dance with this lady, and she was amazing. She was, don't get me wrong, she's beautiful, she's amazing, but the song goes into a break, and I heard the break happen. I mean, I didn't know the song probably as well as she did, but then the music breaks and she just switches timing and goes off on her own thing, and she just gives me the smile. She's like, the music broke. And I was like, I know, you know, through clenched teeth, I was going to do something about it for sure. I just didn't know the song as well as she did, and so I didn't end up hitting that break the way she did. So anyway, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care really. Like, follows, you can do whatever you want to. When you're dancing with me, you can break away, you can enjoy your shines, do whatever. As long as we do these things with kind hearts and with the best intentions, you know, whatever. She smiled at me sweetly, and so anyway, it didn't really bother me. So anyway, that's just a little feedback from my side. But anyway, here we go. Yeah, we've got some feedback here. So let's have a look. Lee. Generally, I hate it when my partner tries to teach me on the floor. There are a few guys who do it in a respectful and useful way, but it's often the least advanced leads who feel the need to teach their followers, in my experience. Lee, thank you so much for the feedback. And yes, in my experience, that is really it. In my experience, I found that the more experienced the lead is the more forgiving he is, not only of his partner, but also of himself. He may try a move out which he learned in a class, knowing full well that it's kind of like a fresh move for him and he hasn't tried it before. But if he's dancing with a certain follow, like in my experience also, dancing with a certain follow who feels light, she feels connected, as we say, butter, you know, she's just got that amazing connection. I'll try some stuff with her that I wouldn't normally try with a more novice or less experienced partner, because I feel that if it were going to work, it would probably work with her. But, you know, a more experienced lead would be much more forgiving of the partner and more forgiving of himself or herself in that for that case, to actually try the move and for it not to work. But also to not do it from a perspective of teaching, but just trying and knowing that, you know, if the communication is good, then it should by all means work. And if it doesn't work, and if it's the follows, if it was squarely on the follows side why the move didn't work, then you know what, try it again or don't try it. But you know, there would definitely not be any need to have to explain it. And yes, definitely, Lee, the experienced ones are definitely kinder about this, but the least experienced guys, the novice guys, sometimes can be dodgy. Dominique, I enjoy being pushed out of what I know at socials, as that's how I learn, but some men push too far and I can't even enjoy the dance. Absolutely. Jeez, Dominique, thank you so much for that feedback. That's so spot on. Like, ultimately, the role of the lead very often, or one of the things that leads should be doing, is pushing the follow to their limits and maintaining them sort of at that limit, at the end of their limits, where they're being well challenged, being aesthetic, being really, really pushed to experience the dance at a higher level, and then every now and then to push slightly beyond that limit, knowing where it is, but to do it in a soft, kind, musical, respectful way. You know what? We can both grow from that experience. But pushing too far, too fast, it's more often than not, it ends badly. And I think only a more experienced lead would actually know how to push that limit and do it in a way where it was going to work. But again, these are things that we have to learn. We have to learn this along the way. So that was from two ladies, Dominique and Lee. Thank you so much for your feedback. Really, really appreciate that. Now I see I've got two guys coming up next. Ludwig's a good friend of mine. Ludwig's been dancing for some time. I spent some time in South America. He dances all styles. So let's see what Ludwig's going to say. I don't mind feedback provided it's right. The problem is that most of the time it's not, and I know it for a fact. So the problem is that for most of the time it's not, and I know it for a fact that the feedback provided is not right. The feedback is incorrect. Wow, that is on its own like such a crazy perspective, and absolutely experienced that myself so many times. I remember the one time going to a class at SOS in London. I was, any of you that have been to SOS in London, I know Ludwig's been there many times. It's Ludwig, SOS is one of the biggest and longest running socials. It's a Sunday night social. SOS means Sunday, salsa on Sundays. Social that happens in London, hosted by my friends Leon Rose and Tamambo. It's like a legendary place. If you're ever in London on Sunday night, you have to go to SOS for sure. Like 400 dancers on a Sunday night social, some of the best level and highest level dancers you'll ever see happening in Europe. Amazing DJs, the Julian the Duke, Julian Summers, and many more, Tully. And I was doing the advanced class with Leon Rose that night, and this follow came around to me, and it was the class. So, the classroom is a time to try things out and to learn and experience stuff. And I led something which was not 100% correct, I must admit. I'm very sincere when I say that I was still very unsure of the moves. Leon Rose, if any of you have been to Leon Rose's classes, Leon pushes a very high level of very challenging things, because the London style, it's quite unique, and it has some things in there that are a little bit different. And it didn't really work out. And this girl, I could tell where her level was. She didn't know me from a bar of soap. It was my first time in that advanced class, but I get the feeling that she'd been there before, and she went on to tell me about how I should be doing the lead differently. And meantime, I could feel that it wasn't all my fault. She was a bit tense in her arm, and so when I went for this hammerlock move, which is what it was like a double spin hammerlock touch and go. She wasn't loose in her arm, and she was definitely not firm in her spine. She wasn't secure in her posture and her spine, and the move didn't really work. And so she proceeded to tell me how I could do it better. And for sure, any bit of feedback is welcome if it's correct, if she knew what she was talking about, but she didn't. And I just kind of like, cool, thank you very much. I took it gracefully, and I just knew that she was going to be moving on to the next partner in 3, 2, 1, high five and go. So it didn't bother me too much. And later on at the social, I actually was dancing around the same space where she was dancing, and then she came to me during the social and she asked me for a dance, and I said yes. And immediately as we started dancing, she said to me, I'm so sorry for giving you advice in the class. I could actually see your level is much higher than I thought it was, and so I'm sorry for that. And of course, whatever, these things happen in a classroom situation, but in a classroom situation, it's acceptable. In a social floor, you better know what you're talking about before you start giving advice. So Ludwig, thank you very much for that feedback. I really appreciate that. Adil, one of the students here at Paradiso Academy, what's happening, Adil? Only when the follower asks me what should have been done, then I generally say I'll try to lead it better next time. Yes, thank you very much. What a graceful way to go about that. Only when the follower asks me what should have been done, then I generally say I'll try to lead it a bit better. Absolutely. Do it, make a mistake, apologize, whatever, smile about it. Sometimes the music is pumping, you're having such a good time. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't get that. Can you do that again? Let me experience that again. Sometimes, what you can't do that, you can just smile sheepishly and just be like, and then try it again. Hopefully the partner is more ready for it, or partner is more experienced and knows how to deliver that better. But you need to be able to be kind and to be able to try it again without fear of being hurt or being rejected or being judged for just being experimental. You know, the social floor, while it would be amazing to have every single social dance be completely aesthetic and perfect and it works every time, I can tell you from the perspective of a lead that more often than not it doesn't work like that. And if it does, the lead is actually just staying at his glass ceiling and he's not trying anything new, and he's only doing what he knows is going to work, so that at the end of the dance he can get a nice pat on the back and a nice like, wow, you're such an amazing dancer, wow. Believe me guys, you do 3 more dances with that girl on that social with the same glass ceiling safety net, she's going to call you out, man. She's not going to be so kind to you the next few times, because she's going to see that you're playing it safe. You need to push the boundaries a little bit, push your own boundaries and push the boundaries of your follow, to make sure that you are both growing from the experience, that you both are pushing up to the next level. Otherwise it's going to be very, very boring for the two of you, and that's when I hear feedback from the ladies saying, oh, these guys are always doing the same stuff, I'm not being challenged on the social floor. Or the leads are saying, yeah, you know, the follows here, that they're not very high level, blah blah blah. There can only be a higher level leads if you push them to a higher level. The follows are not going to get better because you're keeping them in the safety net. I'm sorry to say, you need to up your game and you need to push her to the next level. And follows, at the same time, you need to show us what you're capable of doing. If we put you into a whoop, a free turn, or a free left travel turn, don't just do a single and play it safe. Do a double, do a triple and a half, and come out with some flair, with some styling. Show us, like, make us feel like, whoa, okay, I'm taking it too easy on this follow, I need to push it to the next level. That's how we grow, that's how we push to the next level, and that's how we do better. And we need to keep on pushing and trying new things, yeah? So thank you, Adil, for that feedback. Amazing point. We're back at Dominique. Dominique's got a lot to say tonight. I'm very, very happy for that, Dominique. Thank you. Lead should ask if the follower is comfortable with it before assuming. Yes and no, Dominique. I have to say that, unfortunately, when the dance floor is packed and the music is pumping and everything is going, you know, we can't ask, because we just have to assume that, well, you are standing next to the social floor, and so, well, you're ready for salsa. However, the first few counts of that dance is where the lead and the follow get to feel each other out. And leads, this is the point for me to add a caveat here, that you don't go into every single dance with your most badass stuff and pulling off like, oh yeah, let's go, 5, 6, 7, boom, crossbody lead, triple spin, you know, double 2.5 inside travel turn, all that kind of stuff. No, dudes, you need to play it easy and feel your partner out with some basics, crossbody lead, walk through, right spot turn, broken left turn, and get the feel for your partner's connection, arm tension, posture, spine, all these things, footwork. You'll be surprised. Sometimes the follow that looks the lightest and the most active can really move around like a fully laden dump truck. Like, it can be much more different than you think, and so you need to feel it out. And so, to answer Dominique's point, as opposed to the lead asking whether you're comfortable or not, what he will generally do is feel you out, and he will start with very, very basic things and get to feel what your follow technique is like. Do you spot? Are you engaged? Are you active? Can he indicate something and you can deliver that without him pushing you through that technique? And Dominique, I'm not picking on you, I'm saying this generally to follows across the board. It's impossible to ask, we have to assume that you can dance whatever style it is. If you're standing next to the dance floor looking in attentively, waiting to be asked, we have to assume that you know how at least to go through the basics, and we have to take you from the basics all the way up to the comfort zone, and then push beyond that boundary and see what you're capable of doing. And if you're capable of more than the safety zone, take you to the next level, and find your ceiling and keep you up there for as long as possible, take you to the end of the song. So yes, we need to push each other. We need to push, guys and girls. So, moving on. Shanae is amazing. Shanae Johnson. Anybody from Cape Town knows Shanae Johnson. She is the promoter for the Radisson Red events, which happen once a month here in Cape Town, which unfortunately are on halt at the moment, or a hiatus until all this madness is over. Shanae, we love you, girl. Mwah, love your work. And Shanae says, if I can't get a follow right, I'll ask if I want instruction. Otherwise, let's move on. Very, very good point, Shanae. Very good point. And I dance with Shanae from time to time at the socials. I wish I could dance with her more often. We don't get to see each other available for dances as much as possible, but when I do see her and we're in each other's space, I do always pick Shanae up for a dance. And yes, it's completely right. You know, when I dance with Shanae, I push her to a high level because she's a good dancer, and I push her, and she encourages me to push her to higher levels of my own lead, and we kind of always, it's a game, you know, it's always an interplay between the lead and the follow. And Shanae, yes, you have also asked me before to do that move again. Do that move again? I didn't get that. And you know what, I know for myself, if I didn't lead it correctly, or if my partner was perhaps not in the right place. Sometimes it could be just the floor. It could be a sticky floor, a slow floor, and the move doesn't work. You know what? I understand. I need to deliver it in a different way in order to get the outcome that we both are expecting. So, yes, guys, if the follow asks you to try that move again, by all means, go ahead. If you try it twice and she didn't ask for it and it didn't work 2 times, leave it. Be done with it. Figure out for yourself, or be kind to her, and be humble enough to say, you know what, perhaps I didn't lead that as good as I could. I'm going to go back to a practice session and try to figure it out and lead it better. This actually brought me to a very, very important point here, that there are 5 stages to becoming a really good dancer. Okay, 5 stages, and I actually I'm going to be doing a whole video about this coming up very, very soon. I just want to pull it up and make sure that I don't miss anything. But 3 of those stages involve what you learn in the classroom, okay? The second stage, and probably the most neglected stage of you becoming a fantastic dancer, is stage number 2, which is solo and controlled practice. Oh my goodness, if I can only tell you how neglected this second point is. The third point, of course, is social dancing as much as possible. Unfortunately, many of us will go from classroom, learn something new, and then take it immediately to the social floor and go and try it out. Now, this is what leads us to this uncomfortable place of giving instruction on the social dance floor. You know why? Because in the classroom, you're with people who are in a learning space, and so we're open to like, oh, how could I do that better? Did I do that correctly? What did I make a mistake with? Okay, cool. I can help you with that. Your arm was a bit tense when I took you through that rotation. Your lead wasn't very clear. You didn't indicate early enough, so I didn't really see what it was that you wanted. We go straight from that mindset to the social, and we think it's the same space. We think that this is a space for us to actually master these moves. Sorry for us. That's not the way it works, guys and girls. There needs to be a middle stage, which is solo and controlled practice. This can be something as simple as going home and practicing the move in front of the mirror, on your floor, and getting the technique by yourself. For instance, let's say it is a cross-body move where the lead has got to do a turn. Leads, you can practice this move by yourself. Practice your crossbody lead, open the slot, envision your partner moving down the line, you then coming back into the line again, executing your move, and imagine how your arm would move as you did that. Imagine where your partner would be. Imagine what it would be like to lead a partner who had tension in the arms. Imagine a partner who took really, really long strides, long steps, and ended up very far away from you. How would you troubleshoot these issues in a split second and be able to control the situation and be able to come out on the other side smiling, and that your follower is smiling also? Yeah? Imagine practicing that by yourself 10 times, 50 times, 100 times, or how much better you'd become at that. Follows. Imagine that there's a problem that you were having in the classroom, which was a left travel turn. Let's say there's a left travel 2.5 turn followed by a double spot turn. How would you deliver on that by yourself and with control and with power and with poise, and hopefully by the end of it with aesthetic that you could come out of it stylishly and decorate the move? How would you do that by yourself? And how could you practice that by yourself using your imagination of, okay, here's the line in front of me. My partner opens up and indicates and gives me a shaping to the right. I then execute the 2.5 turn with correct spotting technique. By the end of it, come out back into my break step, my 6-7, or my 1-2, whatever timing you're dancing on, and then to move from that into the double turn, coming out of that with poise and control, and then finishing off maybe with an arm styling. Yeah, you could practice that by yourself 100 times, 1,000 times before you felt completely confident with that move. And then call a friend. Hey, how's it going? Steve, I've been wanting to practice a few things from class, and I would like your help with this because I see that you'll be able to lead these techniques. Can you come around, or can I come around to your place, or can we meet at the studio or at the gym and go through that move a few times so that I feel confident with that? Steve might be like, you know what, I was also in the classroom, I wasn't really getting that move. Let's do that and let's go practice that move. Guys, you can practice that over and over and over again until you get that, and then you take it to the social floor, and by then you are feeling so confident you're going to be able to lead and follow that move with confidence and with aesthetic, and believe me, it's going to work without anybody giving you any instruction or anybody feeling like you weren't getting it, okay? Of the 5 steps, 2 and 3, so actually number 1 and 2 and 3, learn in the classroom, practice it solo and and with a partner in a controlled environment. And third step is to take it to the social. Yeah, we'll have less of this teaching on the social dance floor if you mind. Point number 2. Thank you very much, Sydney. Sydney Melodia, my good friend. Lead. Let it go. It is not difficult to notice when the person we are leading is new or relatively new to dancing. It happened to me quite a few times, and it never killed me to just let it go. At times I even do what she wants if I see that she is having fun. There we go. Like, if you try a move that's not working, let it go. It's not like, guys, it's not the end of the world if you try this move with 5 different ladies or 5 different followers, 10 different followers, and it doesn't work. You know what? Let it go. Maybe it wasn't your time. Maybe you weren't ready to execute that move. Maybe you need some more of stage number 2, which is a solo practice and control practice before it's actually going to work. Don't get aggro about it. I've seen guys get so aggressive on the social floor. Like, they have to get this move to work. It has to work. And all you end up doing is just causing issues for yourself and issues for your partner where no one really has a good time. And at the end of the day, you just need to be able to let it go. Let it go. And if there's a move that you're doing with a follow that works amazing and she loves it, you can see that, or he for that matter, it doesn't matter whoever the follow is, but that the follow enjoys a certain move, and you can see they do it with like a little style, a little bit of flair, a little bit of aesthetic. Do that move a lot, because that move makes that partner feel really good. And so do it often, and give that person the reinforcement. Like, give them a smile, or give them a wink, like, wow, that was bad, like, check that out, that was amazing. Let them feel like their hard work paid off, because there's nothing better. That person will remember the amazing feeling that you gave them for that, and will come back and ask you for a dance next time, and with that feeling, that good feeling that came from that. Okay, so there you go. And the whole point of this Q&A, guys and girls, is to share from our own personal experiences things that work for us and things that didn't work for us. And from this conversation and from this Q&A, we're going to all become better dancers and add more value to the social floor, and to the stage for that matter, and to the classroom, by just being better all in all. Speaking of the classroom, oh my goodness, I just had a thing right now. I have to have a sip of coffee for this one. You know, this was something that, and this is something that drives teachers up the wall. Coming from a teacher, and all the teachers around here, Melodia, Sydney, you're one of them that's in here. Let's see if there's any other teachers here now. Angus is in. Angus, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Welcome, Gus, my good friend. I've got to bring this topic up right now for the teachers out there, because we're talking right now about teaching on the dance floor. Please, if you're a student, don't be teaching in another teacher's class. That is the most disrespectful thing you can do. I don't care. I get this very often with students who come through from other countries, from other schools, maybe have a little bit of experience, maybe they feel like they know a little bit more about the topic that I'm talking about in my classroom, and somebody else, a student comes along to them and they start giving instruction in my class about how the move works. Listen, let me tell you something first and foremost. Techniques differ from school to school, and from classroom to classroom, and from teacher to teacher. More often than not, if the technique is correct, it will be taught, but from a different perspective. The terminology might be different, the lead in and the lead out of the move might be different, but ultimately, if the teacher understands that technique and is teaching that technique first to you, maybe they know what they're talking about. Instead of trying to assist the student in the classroom and actually when I do this you should do that, don't do that. The most important thing that you should do, and this is something that I teach my staff, as you guys will know, that there's 8 members in my team, and I always tell my teachers to not instruct the students in the classroom, but instead to defer to me. If I'm the lead instructor in the class, and let's say Candy or Megan or Pat or Alex or Shani are assisting me in the classroom, the assistant teacher will have all the rights in the classroom to give instruction. The lead instructor, which would be me in this case, has got obviously all the rights to give the instruction. A student cannot be given instruction in my classroom. It's really disrespectful, because what it does is it generates chatter in the class. It generates disruption in the class, where students who are in their classroom for a while and understand how we teach in my class knows that is really disrespectful, and it bothers them. I've seen them look back at this person thinking like, why is this person talking in the classroom? Here's the teacher, here's the assistant instructor, and here's this person talking in my classroom, which I've paid money to be in, and this person is disrupting me. All I can hear is this nattering in the background. It is so disrespectful to do that. Rather, and let's say again, I'm the lead instructor, Shani is the assistant instructor, and in the classroom I've got Kevin, Camilo, any of the guys in their classroom. They will defer to me and say, Regan, what happens in this situation if this was to occur? Or Regan, I think that there may be some unclear notions about the specific technique. Can you please go over that again? This is something that many teachers can already pick up, but they're waiting for the class to kind of go around and cycle to see if it's happening with all of the members in their class, or if it's just happening around one specific person. Okay, if it's one person, I'm not going to waste the whole classroom's time by fixing the whole class for one person's mistake. Nobody gives the instruction except for teachers. Okay? I have my students come to me in the social and say to me, whoa, I just danced with that person, and they were just really not getting the specific technique, and I think that you're in your class. Can you just guide them on this technique? And I will then do that technique with that person who came to me, and I'll be like, you know what? You're actually right, because it's working when I do it with you. I'll pull that person aside, or I'll speak to them in the classroom. Oh, I'm actually going to bring it up in my class this week, and I will definitely identify that issue. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. The only people that give instruction in any scene are the teachers. And I'm not even pulling any punches on this one, guys and girls. I'm meaning this in the most sincere way and in the most clear way possible. The only people that are qualified to give instruction in any dance scene are the instructors. Find out who that person is that's not getting their technique. Ask them, who is your instructor? And then go speak to the instructor and say, I tried this technique with your student, it didn't work. Can you just maybe check this out? And then let the instructor deal with that, okay? Sydney, this is literally the way I self-developed. Danced a lot on my own. Oh, yes, 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 1,000 yeses, 1,000,000 yeses. Guys and girls, even though we're dancing, social dancing and partner dancing, I have to let you know something very important here. The majority of great dancers practice a minimum of 70% by themselves before getting a partner and working with a partner. Why? This comes down to life, okay? You cannot go into a relationship if you're broken yourself, okay? If you've got stuff in yourself that's not working, you can't go into a relationship hoping that somebody else is going to fix you. It's not going to happen. You need to go into a relationship the confidence that I am good, I'm 100%, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to find somebody, and hopefully they are 100% themselves, that we're going to have an amazing relationship. Maybe you're one of those people that goes into a relationship thinking, I don't care if this person's broken, I can help this person out, I can bring some value to their lives, that's fine. But you need to be responsible for yourself and make sure that you are 100% before you go into a relationship, because the other person's job is not there to fix you. It's their job to grow through that relationship with you. And the same thing happens in social dancing. It's not my responsibility to make you better. I get this all the time, especially in dances like Kizomba and Sensual Bachata. The ladies will say, oh, I only like dancing with the good dancers. I only like dancing with this guy and this guy and this lead because they do all those badass things with me, and they make me look good. I'm going to tell you something here, and it might seem a little bit harsh, but I'm going to be very, very true about this, and I think that this is the platform where we can be very, very honest, and I'm hoping that I'm going to inspire some of you to be very honest in this platform, because this is going to be an ongoing thing. It is not the lead's responsibility to carry you, follows. You need to be able to carry yourself. Those moves where he's doing that, and that where he does it with certain people and not with other people, sometimes the guys do this at their own demise. Kevin, many of you guys know Kevin, is a good friend of mine. Kevin's been with Paradiso for 7 years. We're good friends. We've been around for a long time. Kevin he's a teacher at Paradiso, and he couldn't dance for 2 weeks because he tried to move with a girl on the social floor, Kizomba, and she couldn't carry herself, and he ended up hurting his back. He already has a back problem from sports from before, and he tweaked his back on this. I've tweaked both my shoulders. I've had shoulder impingements on both of my shoulders, tweaked both of my shoulders, trying a simple simultaneous turn with a partner who couldn't carry her own spine, couldn't carry her own posture, and she ended up pulling me in the simultaneous turn, tweaked both of my shoulders. Guys, take responsibility for yourself. Take responsibility for your own dancing. Practice by yourself way more than you practice. Twice more, 3 times more by yourself than you expect to be dancing with a partner, okay? This is like unbelievable. Thank you, Sydney, for bringing up that point. Totally valid. Megs, mwah, miss you, babes. Dancing on the social floor isn't a place to test one another. It's about coming together to share a song, to connect to the music and to each other, to put your classwork to practice, and it's always a place of growth. Don't connect each other. Don't correct each other, excuse me. It can go both ways. It can be that the follower wasn't receptive to the lead. It could be that they are not yet at that level to understand the lead. It could be that the lead did not lead correctly, or that the two of you are simply not synchronizing. There are a few possibilities here. Don't throw out the words, you were supposed to do this. Oh my goodness, that is literally poison on the dance floor. To say that sentence, you were supposed to, oh my goodness. Woo! Let me tell you, that is, woo, you better be able to back up that sentence. If you're going to say that sentence to anybody on the social floor, you better be able to back that sentence up with some sense. Otherwise, you're going to become a pariah on the dance floor. I'm telling you right now, don't say that sentence, people. Please. Don't throw out the words, you were supposed to do this, or you weren't meant to do that, from the lead or the follow side. That's another one. You were not meant to do that. It's unpleasant and can make a beginner dancer feel really terrible about themselves and lose their excitement for dance. Handle miscommunications with grace and with a big smile. Oh my goodness. Guys and girls, all of you that are on the chat right now, and looking at the list of people that are on this chat right now, most of you guys that are on the chat right now have been around on the scene for a long time now. And you know, the biggest responsibility that we have as experienced dancers is to nurture the next generation. Why? Because the Afro-Latin community is like this mug, okay? What the teachers do, what the promoters do, what the DJs do, is we, by any means possible, we take from the general population of people and we start to pour in new blood into the scene, okay? Now, what the teachers and the promoters and the DJs will often try to do as best we can is to make that mug bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger so that we can actually expand and accept new blood, right? But it's not always possible, and so what ends up happening, for whatever reason, the cup runneth over. The cup runneth over. Some dancers, for whatever reasons, they have kids, they get into relationships, they start jobs, they travel, they move to new cities, whatever. Those people flow over the top of the mug, and so they disappear. But you know what tends to happen is that mug inadvertently starts to empty for whatever reason. Okay, one of the reasons that mug empties is because these new people that get poured in, they lose interest and they basically fall out of a hole at the bottom of that mug. The reason is because they were made to feel uncomfortable because of certain reasons within the scene. One of the reasons is politics within the scene, and this topic is going to be coming up very, very soon, guys. I ask you to please like and subscribe and join the page, because when this topic comes out, it's going to cause some waves. I'm telling you, you're probably going to need a 2-hour session for this politics talk. But one of the other main reasons is because beginners fall out, because advanced dancers try to teach them on the social floor, takes the joy away immediately, and it makes these people feel uncomfortable, and they start to ask themselves, why am I even getting into this? I thought I was getting into this for fun and to let my hair down, and I'm being instructed by was clearly not a teacher, and they're telling me something wrong on the social floor. Don't be that dude, don't be that girl. Again, defer to people who know better, and be humble enough to do that. And even if you know better, even if you believe that you know better, it's not your place on the social dance floor to be giving people instruction. All right? Megan, finishing up for Megan, is no matter how long anyone's been dancing, we are always learning and growing, and we are helping each other to do so on the social dance floor. Megs, very, very good point. Nothing else I can say about that. So guys and girls, I'm going to have to end it here. Wow, I actually had 3 or 4 topics to go through today, and we actually only made it through 1, but I think we went through this topic very, very thoroughly. And if you have anything further to add to this topic, please comment. Keep your comments coming through, because this is wow. Like, I'm absolutely so pleased and amazed at the feedback that has come through from this video, and I thank all of you for engaging with this one. Jenny is on here. Jenny is new to the scene, and I think that Jenny is now going to be a little bit wiser when she goes to the social floor. If any of you dudes out there tries to correct her on the dance floor, she's going to be like, hey, speak to my teacher. Regan's going to speak to you, okay? But guys and girls, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for everything. I love this. You know what? This is a very, very strange time that we're living in right now, but because we're coming together, we're engaging with each other, we're keeping these communications open, and we're coming together as a community, even on the virtual side of things. Guys and girls, we're going to keep on growing. We're going to keep on adding value to the scene together. And so when we can be together, we can hold each other's hands again. We're going to be better than we were before this whole madness started. So thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for jumping in to the chat. And guys and girls, I love you very much, and I can't wait to chat to you again very, very soon. Let's keep on growing, and let's keep on adding value to ourselves, number 1, to our community, number 2, and to the world by extension. Guys, I love you very much. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you in the next workshop.